speaking to your avatar. And an avatar is a prospect or an individual, an ideal person that you love working with. One of the things I'd like to say is if you don't have one, it's not just easy to put a flag in the ground or draw a line in the sand and say, okay, this is my person. It's not always that easy for you. One of the things you would do and that I would suggest is start trying to speak to your avatar with content rather than stress about changing your website, changing your LinkedIn profiles and all those things. Start creating little bits of content towards the people that you like working with. Go back to your current book. Look at everybody your favorite relationships. Where do they work? What do they do? What are their problems? Start creating content around that, and you'll start attracting similar people and find your way to the avatar.
A lot of times we overcomplicate identifying who that community or who that niche, if you're from the South, or niche if you're not, where that's going to be for our business. And just, I would just encourage you to take a step back and just ask who is it that you spend time with, and what's the connection. And we have an advisor who has really, his business has blossomed because of his relationships with veterinarians and those selling their practices. Now, I can assure you that when he passed level 3 of the CFA, he wasn't thinking, man, let's go out and serve vets now. This is going to be great. I can really target the vet market, right? It was just, he just looked around, looked at his relationships, and now, I don't want to, this isn't hyperbole, but if a vet sells their practice in the Midwest, it's the proceeds of that are likely to come to him because he served them, he's helped them tax plan, he's really has a holistic practice. And in doing so, that is just an open entree to that niche. And, that is if there is a definition of niche, that is just a tiny slice of what's available. But he didn't overcomplicate it. He just went with it. And, because it was his community.
I appreciate the definition of niche. I would further appreciate the enunciation of niche.
Yep. Fair enough.
I'm staying away from it because I don't know which side of the fence I'm on. That's why I stay away from it.
I'll work on that.
One thing
that's why
I think
say
about,
avatar.
And one of the biggest things, guys, that we run into is people are afraid to narrow their audience down because they're afraid of what they could be missing and leaving on the sidelines. But here's the challenge that you have, and that you all know this. If you haven't narrowed your focus, if you don't have an avatar, a niche in mind, if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. It's plain vanilla. And we don't digest and consume plain vanilla because we're so in this, it's 2021. We are filtering out media and things very quickly. So if you're not speaking to me, you're speaking over me, and I'm not interested. So that is one of the biggest things I hope everyone takes away from this event is when you think of your target market, your ideal person who you want to work with, I don't care what industry, anything, just you need to have that image in your head of every time you're creating content, you're speaking to them. That's the bottom line.